Namaskar. This is Akhilesh Bhargav. Welcome to Tit-Bits on Business and Finance with me. At a recent public event at Kanpur, the President Shri Ramnath Kovind told the gathered audience that even though he earns a salary of rupees 5 lakhs per month, he said he however pays income tax on it at the rate of 2.75 lakh rupees per month. He therefore said that his personal savings are fewer than those of most others engaged in public service, and that, according to him, even teachers who happen to be present in the audience earn much more than him. Maybe he was referring to their savings more than their earnings. We do not know the reasons for the president to make such an unusual statement. After all, personal income and personal taxes are rarely discussed in public, certainly not by the head of the state. And thus, this unusual remark of his got the Twitterati busy. Under the mistaken notion that the president's salary is tax free, some shockingly accused him of being a liar who they said had demolished respect for the top post. And some others said that his tax payment is a financial fraud because, according to them, if the president's salary is tax free, then how is it that the government is collecting taxes from him? Those aware of the complex income tax laws were, however, surprised by the large amount of tax paid by the president per month. According to them, even if the president was to take no benefit of any income tax exemptions, like the senior citizen benefit that he would be entitled to, and even if he did not make any tax savings investments like in PPF, etc., then according to their calculations, even then, his maximum income tax liability per month would be about 1.53 lakhs per month and not the sum of 2.75 lakhs per month as has been claimed by him. They conjectured that maybe the president, who has taken a pay cut of 30% as his personal contribution for COVID funds, must have added it to his taxes paid in order to arrive at the tax liability of rupees 2.75 lakhs per month as claimed by him. Some others said that maybe it includes the GST paid by him on account of items of personal consumption by him and his family. If the tax liability is computed merely on the president's monthly emolument of rupees 5 lakhs, then the tax liability of rupees 2.75 lakhs per month comes to a tax rate of 55%, which defies law and logic. After all, the maximum tax rate applicable to an individual is 30% plus cess and surcharge. This one translated into a tax rate of 55%. It perhaps could be that while saying so, he had his other income in mind, or maybe it was a slip of tongue on the part of the president. Having said that, let us discuss issues related to the president's pay received from the government of India and whether the tax paid by him is enough or not. The president's emoluments are paid to him under a special law called the President's Emoluments and Pension Act of 1951. It is paid from the Consolidated Fund of India. Under this act, he is paid emoluments of 5 lakh rupees per month. The act uses the word emoluments and not salary, since he is truly not an employee of the government of India. Further, the president's palace, which is Rashtrapati Bhavan, which happens to be the largest presidential house in the world, with a floor area of 2 lakh square feet and 340 rooms in it, and all his other perquisites like motor cars, security, furnishings, meals, etc., are not taxed as his perquisites, unlike what it would be in case he was the CEO of a corporate. And so, he actually pays no tax on all these regal, luxurious perquisites enjoyed by him and his family. Under this law, upon his retirement as the former head of the state, he continues to be entitled to such emoluments for life, but at the rate of 50%, thus entitling him to a pension of rupees 2.5 lakhs per month for life. The other perquisites available for life to a retired president and his spouse are: they are entitled to a motor car or a car allowance as per the rules. He is entitled to a personal secretary, one additional personal secretary, one personal assistant, and 2 peons, plus office expense allowance at the rate of 1 lakh rupees per month in order to maintain and run his office. They are then entitled to medical attendance and medical treatment free of charge. And finally, he is entitled to travel anywhere in India accompanied by one person by the highest class, whether he travels by air, by rail, or by sea. Let's come back to the issue of emoluments paid to the President of India. In 1951, India's first President, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, was paid a sum of 10,000 rupees per month plus 15,000 per month towards allowances. By 1989, the amount had been increased to rupees 20,000 per month plus allowances of rupees 10,000 per month, and then to rupees 1.5 lakhs per month in 2008. And finally, the amount was increased in 2017 from 1.5 lakhs per month to the present sum of 5 lakhs per month, which the present president is entitled to. The President of India is the highest paid public servant of India, if we may call him so, and he commands the highest emoluments also. It is interesting to see the payments made to others. The payments made to other such authorities in a descending order are: the Vice President is paid an emolument of 4 lakh rupees per month. The state governors get 3.5 lakh rupees per month. The Prime Minister gets 2,80,000 per month in his capacity as a member of the Parliament, whether of the Rajya Sabha or of the Lok Sabha. The Chief Justice of India gets the same amount as the Prime Minister, which is 2.8 lakhs per month. The Chief Election Commissioner, the CAG, the UPSC Chairman, and the Cabinet Secretary, all of them get 2.5 lakh rupees per month. That is the hierarchy of emoluments paid to all these authorities under the present structure. The taxation issues in the matter of payment of such emoluments to the President are worth a discussion. The first point that arises is that the monthly emoluments paid to the President are taxable like any other income, since there is no exemption provided to these payments in the Income Tax Act 1961 and neither in that Act of the President's emoluments, even though the fact is that even if the President Acts provided, it would not be binding unless the Income Tax Act also had such a provision, and there is no such provision. It is therefore utterly wrong and shameful to call him a liar, as some Twitterati did. The second one is that since there is no relationship of an employer and employee between the government of India and the President, he gets no casual leave, he gets no sick leave, he gets no leave, paid leave like that of an employee. These emoluments are therefore not taxed in his hands as income from salary, but they are taxed as what we call in Income Tax Act as income from other sources. That's the same way that the allowances received by the members of parliament are taxed, since they too are not employees of the government of India. The third issue that arises is that the massive luxuries of living in a palace called Rashtrapati Bhavan with a large retinue of servants does not constitute a taxable perquisite in the hands of the President, unlike the taxation of a furnished accommodation with servants, which gets taxed in any other case. Anyone who surrenders his salary to the Consolidated Fund of India is not subject to tax to that extent. And so it is the case with the President of India, who has presently foregone 30% of his salary towards the COVID relief fund. He thus pays no tax on the income so surrendered by him. And finally, if the President claims that as against a monthly income of 5 lakhs, he pays taxes of 2.75 lakhs per month, which, as we said, translates into a tax rate of 55%, then he is mistaken and he is certainly confusing it perhaps for something else, or that is the tax payable by him on his total income, which will include all his other income. The fact is that though the President has not complained that he is underpaid, this matter about the lament of the President about his savings being less than those of many others raises a question whether he's paid enough for performing his job as the President of India or not. The answer, of course, is a resounding yes. We think that the President is paid handsomely for the job that he performs for the government, for the public. Look at all the perquisites that he enjoys, the power, the position, the fame, and the privileges that he enjoys that comes with the post of the President. They are indeed priceless and beyond money, and there would be many deserving others who would be willing to become the President of India, perhaps with no emoluments whatsoever, just for the power, just for the perks, for the position, for the experience, for the fame, and perhaps for the opportunity to serve the nation. No one is thus impressed about the taxes that the president pays on his emoluments, in case that was the purpose of his unusual statement. The fact of the matter, we think, is that if you went by the case of any ordinary assessee, the huge perquisites that he enjoys by staying in Rashtrapati Bhavan and all the services that are provided to him would be a large taxable item in his hands. And then you would come to know whether he is actually being taxed enough or not. If you don't take those perquisites in account and hold them to be non-taxable, then of course the president is not being taxed enough. This is Akhilesh Bhargav signing off till we meet again. Namaskar.